Hey everybody, Patty Tolly Parrish here. I am participating in the hashtag Love Summer Art, which is a movement where a bunch of YouTube art content providers have gotten together under the brainchild of Cinnamon Cooney, the Art Sherpa, and Clive of Clive 5 Art, and Miss Shannon Green, and many others. We've formed a group and we are trying to get the attention of YouTube and people on YouTube that are viewers that love art content, and try to bring it to them in a more organized manner where they can find it more easily. And we're going to do that driving it with hashtags. This month is July, and from July 17th to the 20th, you will see many YouTube art and craft content providers like myself submitting a video, uploading it to YouTube, putting this hashtag in their title and their tags and in their descriptions. And what that's going to do is allow you as a viewer to go in the very top window of YouTube in the little search box up there. You guys know where that is? And put in this hashtag, and you will be overwhelmed and overloaded with joy and hundreds of new art videos, and you're going to find new artists that you didn't know existed through this. We in turn, as content providers, are going to find new viewers. You'll find new artists that you want to follow and support their channel that you never knew were out there. This has happened to me, and I'm looking at YouTube and videos and stuff all the time, and I have come across more artists that do similar work that I'm interested in that I never even knew before and couldn't find. This hashtag is going to allow you to find that. So, with that in mind, stay tuned for more months to come. Every month we're going to try to do a different hashtag prompt and submit a video, and it's the same thing's going to be repeated monthly. Right now it's July. I love summer art. I love summer. So, summer art. I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I'm going to do something. So, I thought I would just do a collage. I attempted another video before this, I'm not going to lie. Do you see my hands? This is an alcohol ink project gone horribly wrong. And I had a bottle of Snowcap alcohol ink, for those of you who know what that is. And it just went bad. Let's just say that. I thought, you know what? There's not that much editing in the world. Let's just scrap the whole deal and move on to a project that I can handle. So those of you who know me know that I'm very wordy. I do long videos. Generally what I do, because my time is limited, I work full-time and then some, I'll do live Ustreams at ustream.tv. And for those of you who may not be familiar with ustream.tv, I and other artists and all types of content is on Ustream TV. My channel there is Inky Obsessions. And if you go to ustream.tv and type in that little search box, Inky Obsessions, you'll find my channel. You can click follow, and whenever I go live, you'll get a notification via email. I also tweet it, and I also post it on my Facebook art page, which is also Inky Obsessions. So, if you're not familiar again with Ustream, if you do this, you can then participate in a live chat that runs down the side of the screen. You all see and hear what I'm doing. I can't see or hear you, but I can see what you're typing in the chat. You can ask live questions. You can learn things from other artists, post links to different products, all sorts of communication that'll happen live right on that Ustream. Another thing that I like about Ustream is that I can record directly to Ustream as I'm streaming live. It captures that in a recording. I usually stream for 3 hours at a time. Once I'm finished, I can go into Ustream and I can push that video up to YouTube in about 30 minutes, which is lightning fast compared to anything I can do from here. When I videotape on my video camera that I'm using now, my high-def camera, it's a recording to an SD card. The SD card goes into my computer. I edit through the software, and then I have to upload it to YouTube. And we're talking about hours and hours of editing and uploading, and I just don't have that much time. So you won't see many of this type direct to YouTube videos from me because of that reason. I'm hydrating with my favorite drink of choice, Dasani water. And I'm also trying to, forgot to fill my water bucket. You know, it happens. I've got various little containers of water that I'm trying to give myself enough water. I thought I would do a collage. I have an Etsy shop, which is also Inky Obsessions. And on that Etsy shop, I sell my line of rubber stamps. And I had a new release recently for some new designs that match a line of stencils that I do on istencils.com. It's Patty Tolly Parrish on iStencils, and you'll see my line of stencils there. I do stamps that match them. So I had a new release of stencils, so I made a new set of stamps, and I had a bunch of orders that I sat down to ship out. And when I ship them out, I always send like an ATC size little piece of art in there from collages that I make and cut up. And I'm running low. So I thought, okay, the alcohol ink failed. Let's make a little collage that I can also turn into ATCs for my orders. And there you have it. So, I'm kind of a weird collager. You know, it happens. I'm using a piece of Strathmore watercolor paper. Nothing fancy. It's just a little bit sturdier and takes some abuse. And I am going to abuse it. And for some reason, I don't know really what that reason is, but I like to get paint down on the page and end up covering up almost all of it. I don't know why I do that, but that's what I do. So I'm going to get started slinging some paint down here, and I'm going to, sticking with the summer theme, I'm going to try some Dina Wakley paints and pick out some watery colors. Not watercolors, but watery colors. Where's my turquoise? Everything in this bin is always on the bottom of the bin. I don't know how. There we go. Turquoise and sky. Let's get a little Delusions out here too. And one of my favorites is Joe Sonio Raindrop color. This is yummy. Where are you, Raindrop? I love this camera because I can do this with it. My webcam, it doesn't come in near as, I can't get in near as close and near as sharp as that. Talking about sharp, look at this. I'm going to go to work looking like a Smurf tomorrow. What are you going to do? Okay. Luckily for you, I'm probably going to fast forward through a lot of this because I just don't have the time to listen to my own self, let alone you have to do it. So I don't know why or what I'm doing here. I'm just going to put down some paints. And I'm going to cover, well, that wasn't my smartest move. These are Dina Wakley paints, and I can really see they're heavy body, and I can see why she came out with a special brush, because this is like bending the bristles back on that brush. I really like this turquoise color. Oops, hello. And I'm just going to make a little mishmash of stuff here. This time I'm going to grab one of her brushes, which are where? Where did I put you, Dina Wakley brushes? Oh, I had them packed to take with me. We had a little mini art retreat this weekend for my Ustream followers. They follow myself and Paula Phillips, the Journal Artista, on Ustream. And a bunch of us got together in person this weekend, coming from Canada and all over here in Maryland, and we had a little art retreat. And I don't see one of her pens. I think I might have left them there. I'm going to grab something more hard bristle with this. And I just like to get blocks of color down here. No particular rhyme or reason, as you will see. And I don't know why I feel like they got to be squares or rectangles, but I usually kind of try to square it off a little bit. Little raindrop. This is a much more muted color. It's like a gray. A grayish teal, but I really like this color. And also, one thing I want to mention is when I'm doing a collage like this that I cut up for ATCs, I'm not so much worried about the overall composition and how this is going to look because I know I'm going to cut it up. Alright, so you'll see me getting through a point where it's going to look like, what did she do? And hopefully I can get you past that point to, oh, I see what she did. So this whole section down here being blue and this being turquoise, I don't care. It's going to get cut up and piecemealed. And let's do a little, this is going to be really bright. Little Diane Reevely. I'm going to go back to the softer brush for hers. This paint, I really shouldn't brush it. I should use one of the applicators. You guys have seen those. They use the Ranger ink applicators with this paint. Yum-alicious. It goes so far. Much further than with the brush. This brush is just too soft. I'm going to ditch that one. Yeah, we're talking. We're getting a little more drag there. So, summer reminds me of the beach reminds me of the water reminds me of turquoisey colors, and that's where we are. I just believe in slapping stuff down, giving it a try, rather than sitting on the couch thinking about, oh, I'd like to go make something, but what if it doesn't come out great? It never comes out great. You just do it for the fun of it. That's my theory. That was a little too much paint. Another story of my life. Let's mix this up, see what happens. Woo! Now, I don't know why it makes me feel better to start this way. It's a waste of paint, really, because you're not going to see much of this by the time this baby gets done. And I never have anything in mind. I don't know where this is going to go. I just sort of let it drag me along with it. And yes, that is me wiping paint on my shirt. See my lovely shirt? It's my Inky Binky, as we call them. Put some brushes in the water there. Find my heat gun. I'm still unpacking from the art retreat. I had to dig these paints out of my scrapbooking bag. Heat gun. Alright. That'll do for now. I've been rooting around in my little painted paper drawer, trying to find some papers that I've painted that might go along with it. For those of you who don't know, that this is one of my partial sets of stamps, the pictographs, and the circles. And let's see what else I can drag out of here. I don't know if this is going to work in anywhere or not. But this is a bag from the Queen's Ink, where I like to go here, my local mixed media store. And they have cool bags, and I always keep them to try to incorporate them. Yeah, this kind of looks wavy and interesting. I might use some of that. It's kind of happy paper. I'm not sure that's going to work in. Alright, well, I got something to start with. I might actually start with a piece of this. I got this when I visited the Dick Blick Mothership in Chicago. Let's just tear a little hunkaroo of this and see what we get. Ooh, that's kind of big. Alright. I like torn edges. on my stuff. I don't need like a precisely cut edge unless I'm going to do something on the edge of the paper. Then I'll take an edge of it so it matches up and you don't have to do too much cutting, right? And I don't know why, but let's just stick this bad boy right down in the middle and work from there. I'm using a matte medium. You can use your adhesive of choice, but this seems to work well. This happens to be a Utrecht brand of matte medium. I should have got more when I was there this weekend because I'm almost out. So I put matte medium on the substrate that I'm gluing onto. And I also like to glue it onto the paper that I'm gluing down. This is really sucking it up. It's getting even prettier when it's wet. I'm going to try to get all these little edges because it's almost like furry where the paper fiber tore on the edge, which is kind of a cool look to it. And actually, this edge is flat up here. So I'm just going to put that, oh, I didn't glue it up there though. Hello. Let's just add more glue up here. Got this straight edge here. I'm just going to lay it on the edge. Make sure I get these new outlines of the size of this thing here with some matte medium. Since I changed my plan midstream, you will see me do that quite a lot. And then I like to put a coat over top. Oop, here comes my other puppy. I have one laying under my desk between my feet. I have two yellow labs, Mojo and Babe. Here comes Mojo. The little footsteps, the little pitter-patter, that's my Mojo. Hey, baby boy. He just had ACL surgery. Well, a couple months ago now. He's doing really good. Hey, Bubby. What you doing, honey buns? That's my puppy. So, there's that piece on there. That actually looks really cool. I love this paper. I may add another little piece. I may. Take a little bit of this. And I like how this tears so ragged and I want to put that here or here. Maybe we'll go across the bottom with this one. What you do, Mojo? Alright, another coat of matte medium on the back. So the way I do this, and it's the way as much as I use, I'm going to have to dry this occasionally during the old process because the page will get really damp. And there are some steps that I like to do when I get towards the end that I need it to be dry again. I like to push down hard and get those bubbles out. Mojo's head is almost in the frame. He's right at my elbow. Are you trying to help Mommy, honey? You're the good boy. You're the good boy. And I use my finger to get some of those bubbles out that are being stubborn. So you get good adherence in the whole thing. I really like this color combination up here. A little more drab, but not everything's got to be blasting with color, Patty. Most things do, but not everything. I love this rain color, and that matches exactly down here. But it's kind of big. I mean, I know I can tear it, but do I want to tear it? And which piece would I use if I did? That piece. Oh, yes. Did you see that? I like this, all this action going on right down the middle here of this piece. Don't need that white. I'm going to put you a little piece of paper. Do I even want you on there? Well, maybe not. Maybe not yet. Here's a piece of painted deli paper that I scraped Golden's fluid acrylics on with a credit card and stamped with a little bit of gold paint. Might use a little streak of that. That's rather oceany looking. I like to get these little skinny streaks of papers through here because, like I said, again, when you cut this up, you'll just get a little bit here and a little bit there in different ATCs, and it'll be more random. Oops. Okay, here's where we are. I wonder if I should zoom out a little bit. Yeah, no, you guys can see what's going on, I hope. My webcam is at a different height, so I'm a little off kilter from my norm. A little piece of this one. At this point, I have no vision for this. I can pretty much just slap stuff down anywhere. It doesn't really matter. There is no composition to worry about. You can always put a layer over something if you're not happy with it. It's funny, I like some collages with real high contrast, like maybe throw a bunch of orange in this. And I like some that are rather monotone. And with these sea colors, they're kind of very comforting and easy on the eye. And I think I might just keep it that way. These paints that you see on here, I use their PBO Studio Acrylics, and they're the Dynacolors. The Dynacolors, there they go, PBO Studio Acrylic. See that Dyna down there? And this one is green blue. They're the iridescent colors. I can get them at fineartstore.com. And they add such a brilliant flash of color. Now if you use them alone, they're very light and transparent, but when you use them in combination with other paints, or particularly against black, they really pop. I a lot of jelly plating for those of you who are new to the channel. You can look at my channel and find many jelly plating videos. And you'll see where I use these in jelly prints, and I make what I call a patina print, where I pull layers. I usually use 2 colors of the iridescence over top of a black pole, and I use one of my stencils to pull up a design, and then it's kind of hard to explain not doing it, but I pull a design through a stencil with a black print. And then while leaving the rest of the black paint on there, I add 2 colors of PBOs on there. And pull another print off, and it comes out to me looking like aged metal. You know how an old fence or copper penny will patina, or old iron fence gets that look to it. They look pretty cool. You have to check out my channel and find those. I'll do those another day for you. But these PBO paints are yum. Oh. They also have them at Dick Blick. I just find that they are cheaper at fineartstore.com. Nothing against Dick Blick. I love them. But they are cheaper at Fine Art Store. Alright. Getting a little funky here. I'm finding a baby wipe. I'm sticking to myself. Okay. So here's where we are at the moment. And here's a good example of these PBOs. They have one called green blue and they have one called blue green. This is green blue. That's green paint with blue iridescence in it. This one is blue green. It's blue paint with green iridescence in it. But you can see they look very, I'm trying to get it both in frame there. They look very different. This blue green is spectacular on black. Oh my gosh. All right, let me be gone. Get this a little bit dry. And while I'm drying, that allows me to think, what the hell am I going to do next? So stand by. Okay, I need to dig with both hands in my little collage fodder box over here. Well, it's actually a bin, an IKEA Alex set of drawers that I have a lot of my collage papers in. I like to add stark black and white to pretty much every little thing I do. Oh, here's a patina print. I found a little piece of a patina print. This is a jelly print that was black, and then I pulled the stencil, the black print, and that cleaned the black out of the holes of the stencil, and then I add the PBOs, and that's what that looks like. That's what a PBO print is. This is another one, but this one didn't come out that great. That's my feather stencil. But you can see that little image in there. Oh, here's one that's a little bit better. I used all the good ones, so. But here's another new of my stencil designs called Tribal Borders. And that's kind of what a patina print looks like when you pull that combination. So, I know I have some black and white stark striped paper somewhere. And that's what I'm going to use. There's some. I gotcha. I love adding stark black and white. I can use some of this deli. I got this black and white checkered deli paper too. That collages down pretty nicely. So, let's see where we are. Oh my goodness, Grand Central Station. Well, that one I'm not going to answer because they just want to take my money. So this, let's see what I want to do in here. Where are my skizzers? Here we go. I'll use this set. I still have everything packed up. I'll just use this set. Now this is going to be sharp lines on here rather than tearing it because it's a kind of a geometric design, but I'm going to try to get off as much of the white borders as I can. I want to keep the other white because I like that contrast. Good enough. I have 2 sizes of those. I forget where I got these. I think these might have been from a Michelle Ward class I was in where we did all, oops, just mung that one up. We did all black and white one day. Alright. Actually, you know what? A little stripe of this here and there I think would look kind of cool. This would be a lot quicker with my big old Tim Holtz scissors. But I do not have those available at the moment. Okay. See, just laying there, doesn't that really pop? I'm telling you, little black and white. That's what you need on everything. So, again, not so much thinking of composition, although I always sort of end up doing that. What are you going to do? But I'm also thinking of how these are going to cut apart into ATCs. You know, we're going to cut this way, and then down this way. This one will get a little bit of that, right? So, let's just not give it too much power. Let's just start slapping this crap down here. I can't remember if this was printed on a laser printer or not. So I'm going to try to be careful of what I put on top of this. Let's see if it smears. I'm just going to go in one direction. Well, there I lied, back and forth, but I don't mean all over the place. I'm just going to try to go in one direction. So if this was printed on a regular inkjet printer, it will smear with the matte medium. This looks like it was laser. That's on there pretty good. Pretty dang good. Let's put one right there. Oops, a little bit too much. This thing will be soaked. It won't dry till next Thursday. There. And let's put something right here on the edge. This will get a couple of these ATCs will have that Harlequin diamond design right down the edges of them. I think just that little bit of pop of black and white. Very stark. I like it. I don't know if you guys like it or not, but I like it. So this is on tissue. Deli. No, this is deli. That's deli paper. Where I stamp to stamp and a stamp to stamp in a stamp. So I got a double stamp. And let's throw this puppy somewhere. Where you want to go? Round stamp. Let's go right there. I don't know why. Just because. Oops. Because I said so. I'm the boss of you, piece of paper. I like to do things in odd numbers, so I like that. That set of 3 there is intentional. That's not an accident. There's only 3 there. I meant it. Oops. Don't be crunching it up. Alright. And I also like know what? These are my stamps, one of my sets of stamps that's on my Etsy shop. But I'm looking. I had a punch. I used to have, oh, that's what I'm going to do. To save time, instead of cutting that out, I'm going to grab my striped paper and a punch. So this I just printed off on my inkjet printer. So this I have to be careful of running. But I'm going to just take the old puncheroo, and I'm just going to punch out some circles. Oh, 3. Can you imagine? How did that happen? So let's see where we want to put these. Perhaps one right there, maybe. Maybe one right over here. And I kind of twist them and turn them. They don't all end up the same way. Maybe one right up there. Again, not worried so much about composition. I have to say that out loud because I'll forget and start worrying about composition. It's not for you, it's for me. I'm going to glue this down really good on here because I don't want to have to do too much of it on top. And when I do, I'm going to go, oops, hello. I'm going to go one direction, staying where if I brush it and it loosens up, I'm black on black and white on white, if you get what I mean. All right, if that toner moves any, it's not going to be too much of a disaster. I wish you guys could see under my table. This camera's too difficult to take down. I've got 200 pounds worth of Yellow Lab at my feet. Mojo is now in there, curled up on his bed, with his head laying over top of Babe's back, all cuddled up like this. They're so stinking cute. Are you guys cozy down there? Oh, you mommy studio puppies? Yes. Alright. Let's throw one down here. And did I not tell you the paint's going to get almost all covered up? But I really like these colors through here, so I am going to leave more of that exposed this time. I think what I'm noticing is when I do the monochromatic colors on my collages, it's just now occurring to me that that's when I leave more of the background showing through. When I start putting hot and cold colors in there, and it just gets too overly busy. I think this looks more cohesive with this color scheme than if I would have had oranges in there and pinks and reds with these colors. Because then when I slap down whatever papers I slap down, sometimes not so nice what's ends up in between, and then end up covering it all up. But I think I'm going to let a lot of this exposed, which is going to be good for you because that means it won't be as long of a video. Aren't you lucky? Do we want to throw a little bit of this in there? And if so, how so? I think I'm going to put little squares of this in there. Where are you gonna go? I don't know why. Let's just put you there. I don't know why. I'm gonna let a little of that blue show in on the outside of that though. That's a pretty blue. That's that sky from Wakely. And let's put you over here. Now that looks close to this other black and white bit. I know, I admit it. But I like it because when this gets cut up, it's going to be a little black and white piece on this part of the card and on that part of the card, right? The ATC card, it's not going to be all... Actually, I might just get really bold and put that right there. And that'll help us hurry up, won't it? And yes, for the sake of time, even fast forwarding through this bad boy, there's plenty other videos to watch, my friends. I don't want to take up too much of your valuable time, but I probably will. I'm a rambler. If you don't like ramblers, should have told you long ago. Move ahead. Alright, so there's some black and white on that, right? I'm going to dry this a little bit. Again, giving me time to think. Get out of harm's way. Because things are going to start getting harmed around here. I might still put some of my pictographs in. These are my stamps as well, and I just love these. And I think what I'm going to do I have a ruler around? They're still packed up too. Crap! Maybe I can use this one. I'm going to try to rip. Oops. So many of you probably know, or should know, Shannon Green. And Shannon did a video using Daddy Van's beeswax furniture polish. Right? That's good stuff. And she stamped images onto different papers and collaged them. Well, it makes the paper go clear. This Poppy's another one of my stamps. This one is not, but I use that a lot in my polymer clay stuff. But it goes transparent. See my painty fingers behind the... Ooh, where's my camera? Behind the tissue. So it collages really quite lovely. So let's see. I just want to do a little strip of this here and there. Let me do it this way. Really should have taken the time to get all my supplies unpacked. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's do a little something on this edge right there. This is pretty delicate. This is on tissue, not deli. And it gets a little delicate in there, but it helps it go really transparent. And I'm going to show you this close up so you can see what I mean, how that pretty much disappears into the matte medium, and it looks like you stamped it on there, but you did not. Oops, I just fluffed them when the air flew through them across the room here. I love pictographs. They vary. I hope they don't offend somebody in some language that I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed to say. I just drew them, and I like tribal sort of things, and they seem tribal-ish, foreign Martian code, something. I don't know what they are. I call them pictographs. Let's do one right here. Oops, get on there straight, baby. Come on, work with me. There we go. But they're really nice the way they come out. I'm going to put a couple more in there. Now that I'm on a roll, this was so far my most popular set of stamps too, and stencil actually. So I'm not the only one loving the Martian language here. Alright. Let's put one right in here where it's a little plain. where it'll show up a little better. Oops. Schmutzed it. Get over there. Oops. Well, that one says something else. I just changed the shape of that one. Oh well. And again, you know, these are going to be cut up into cards, and you're only going to see a little bitty bit of everything on each card. Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. Overlap into that circle, give that a little interest, and let's do, I don't want too much black and white together. Let's put you right there. Of course I say that, and where do I put it? Right in between two black and white designs. Well, sometimes I fib. You know, I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't think I glued. I don't think I hit those with medium after I put them down there. Okay, now it's getting a little bit more interest with those on there. I just love those. And another thing I like to do is make acrylic skins, and these were like in process. I don't know if this is going to work or not, because I really should have another coat of matte medium over this. But you take something, like this is a sheet protector, right? I cut it in half and made a big sheet protector out of it. Then you take Tulip 3D fabric paints, and you just squirt them all over. I usually do it in black, right? Because I like that pop of black. But I decided this time to do some in white, and I drizzle a little bit of black through this one. And then I let it dry overnight. Then I do a coat of matte medium, dry overnight, coat of matte medium, dry overnight, coat of matte medium, dry overnight. Well, I got one short drying overnight thing in there. I needed one more coat on here. So I'm not sure if these are going to pull off like they normally pull off. So you may see a failed experiment right before your eyes. I'm going to cut this in half so it's a little bit easier to handle. And I want to try to get some of these white ones on here because I think they'll really show up better. And it adds some 3D texture to your collage. And oops, try to get some of this extra out of the way. I should just find those daggone scissors and be done with it. So, now let's see if I can get this started. That's sometimes the trickiest part, is to get that peeled up off of the... My fingers are so munged up. Maybe I should start over here where I got a little bit more to work with. Oh, crapola. Is this going to be a failed demo? Quite possibly. But I think I don't have enough matte medium on here. Rats. Rats, rats, rats. I'm going to keep trying for just another second. Well, I don't want to ruin it either because I like this white. Try to get one. Oh, here we go. I got this little piece going here. And it peels up. And what you don't want to do, I'm going to get rid of that extra, is that is so sticky. If it sticks to itself, it's pretty much there permanently. So I'm going to pull a little chunk of root. There we go. There we go. There. Okay. Now let me try to keep this not sticking to itself. And I'm just going to cut. Again, I need those bigger scissors. Maybe I can grab these. Use my teeth. And just cut. It doesn't matter. Just cut a piece off. The shape doesn't matter. No, don't do it. And then put the flat side down Where do I want to put this? Maybe a little chunkaroo in this darker section. Let's try it. What the heck? What's the worst that can happen? I totally flub up a beautiful collage. I really like this one. I'm going to just, since this is so hard to handle and it's already dried matte medium, I'm just going to lay that down and kind of glue. I need a little bit more down here. I know I didn't go down that far with it. So you got this little 3D scribble over top of that. Not bad. Let me, while this is ooh, yikes. Well, it's cooperating. I just, it really cooperated there. So much so, I lost a hunk of it. But let's, oh, come here, you little rascal. Just going to take a little bitty piece. And let's put this up here in the corner. So I got a flat edge on that, so I want to try to take advantage of that, not having to cut it. There we go, there's another little hunkaroo on there. And, wow, uh-oh. See what I mean? That's bad news. It's probably, oops. It's very tricky. My hands are sticky too. Do you see what I mean? That's not helping any. I like to kind of get up to my elbows in my artwork. Mojo, babe, who's causing a ruckus under mommy's legs? A very delicate situation here. They're resituating themselves, it seems. Alright, take a hunk of this off. What seems to be the problem down there, big boy? Can you get comfortable? Most likely, babe is half smothering him because she lays on top of him all the time. They love each other. Alright. I'm going to let it go with those 3 hunks on there. I don't want to get too overboard. But, so it did work with 2, but it works better with 3 layers, in my opinion. So I'm going to heat gun this baby and give me time to think. How sneaky is that? Alright, that's not near dry enough, but I'm going to take some of this, the PBO Dyna in blue-green. I'm a righty, so let me get this over here so I feel comfortable doing it. And I'm going to put a little blob of paint down here. And this stuff, I'm telling you, that's like all kind of yummy right there. I don't know if you can see on these dirty, let's do it here where you can really see it a little bit better. Oh, hello, lover. Oh, I could just eat this paint like it's blue-green pudding. Don't try that at home, folks. Just kidding. And I'm going to make it in a little circle here. Wipe it on my pretty shirt. And I'm going to dip this lid into it. And I'm going to put some little fine circles just here and there, overlapping, some off the page. Don't care where they land. Again, because you're only going to see a little bitty bit of this in each lovely card. So I'm putting more on there than I normally would, but you can see the iridescence in those. They do kind of pop on there. So I got more on there. Silly girl. Alright, and wipe off on my shirt. It's getting prettier by the minute. And now, I wonder if I can take, I hate to waste this, if I get a little gloopy gloop, do I want to use my finger? What the heck. Let's just do a little fingerprints over there. I'm not going to do any more of those because that's going to take a long time to dry. Somewhere I have a little dabby tools. I've reorganized myself into, oh, here we go. I'll use one of these little, I think I can use this. It's kind of hard on the end. I don't know what the hell I had on. Oops, said a bad word. It happens. Just put a little pop of that here and there. Oh! Beware of the hot heat gun. Let's see. I don't know if any of these... Okay, I'm going to say that one's a goner. These Molotow paint pens are pretty nice. I like to use these a lot. Of course, the big black and white one I normally use. Guess where that is? Yes, it's packed away. Oop. Oh, that one's kind of runny. Ooh, don't want all that running out of there. I wanted to try to hit a couple, add a couple little things here to these dots that I added, make them pop out a little bit more. There we go, just add a little something on there. Makes them stand out a little bit. Maybe go around here on this stark black circle. Put a bunch of little white dots around there. You know, any of that little bit of texture adds another little element. Maybe on, this is kind of plain down here, maybe we'll do that on this. And I'm kind of hurrying now because my camera battery is running low. So that just gives another little piece of interest down there in that corner where there's not much going on. I'm going to do that to this one too. I like how that looks. I'm not worried about how even they come out. It's handmade, people. I'm not a machine. I'm not a machine. Yeah, I like that little extra pop on there. Right? Now, let me see, do I have a black one? I do! Oh, this one's not even primed yet. Let's see if we can get this baby going. There we go. And I usually like to go around like these circles here, and I know I'm off track, I don't care. Just to give them a little definition. Go around this one. I might even scribble around it a couple of times just to give it that handmade look. Especially when I screw up, I scribble over it a couple more times. Looks intentional. Keep that between me and you. Do not tell anybody else out there about this one. Right. I wonder what would it look like if I put a little dot. How cute are you little dots in there? I'm going to do this one too. Again, I'm not worrying about being exact, because that's what I do. I don't worry about too much. Okay. Lost the cap, and I didn't, oh there it is. So I say I didn't even move and I lost the cap. All right. Another little thing I like to do normally is throw a little ink on there. Just splat it. Where is this little jar of my favorite color? And of course I don't see that. So that's okay, we'll just use the big jar. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I see what I'm going to do. Babe, what's the matter, honey? Come in and lay down. Go ahead. Oh, sweet Lord. 100 pounds of love fighting her way around down there. I'm just going to take a skewer. And I have the large bottle. I don't know where the dropper one is. It's probably packed. Shocker. And I'm just going to dip this in here. And I'm just going to let the weight of my hand drag this ink. Maybe I got to get a little bit more on there. I'm getting nothing. This usually works when I do it on canvases. What the heck? Nope, not so much. How rude. Well, let's just do this. Let's just throw a couple little splots on here. All right. Then, I'm not giving up on my little skewer idea. Oh, no, I'm not. But where, oh, where is my little bottle of black ink? I'm just going to use this one here. And I thought I had a little, pardon the reach again. Oh, it's not so little, but I'm going to put a little bit in here. And this is just the Daler Rowney acrylic ink, the FW. These jobbers, right? Put a little squirt in there. Get a clean skewer. And let's see if it's the ink is the difference. Is it because it's that iridescent ink doesn't soak in as much? That's what it is. There, it's working. Just get these little random hairlines of ink down through there. See what I mean? See what I mean, Byron? Right? Just very random in placement. They can cut over and cut back. Right? Just looks like black strings laying on there. See that one? Snaking through there, and it keeps coming down, really faint. But again, another little teeny weeny layer of interest. On each little individual card when this gets cut up. Sometimes I like to make a little grouping, like they're all starting from the same place, and just kind of meander. That's strange that that ink wouldn't do that at all, that metallic ink. And this is doing it quite cleverly. And lasting a long time. Look at that, it's still got ink down here. That's just a regular skewer. That's sucking up the ink. I'm going to get a line down here in this light colored paint. Maybe another line or two over here on these blank spots. Okay. Okay, I can overdo that. I could sit and do that all night. But anyway, there are the little threads of ink that ran through there. All right, groovy. Okay, let's wrap this puppy up. I want to cut it. I must say so myself, I do like this one. And yet, I'm going to hack it up. So, okay. Well, let me think. I want to do, how much is this? This is 15 inches. So ATCs are 3.5 long, right? So 15, 12 and a half, 11 and a half. That would be 3. Is that right? I always screw these up. If I screw this one up, I'm going to shoot myself because I really like these. Here we go. No guts, no glory. That's what I say. I hope that was right. Oh, mercy. So 11 and a half, 3.5 takes it down to 8, right? There we go. And that takes it down to 5. Alright, and that takes it down to 1.5. Right? Uh-oh, I might have been cutting those wrong. Okay. Mojo, what's baby crying about, huh? What's baby crying about? I'm almost done. Okay, now, let me get a clean piece of newsprint up here. Don't forget that. Love summer art. Hashtag. And that won't just live on YouTube for the 17th to the 20th of July, right? That will live in infamy. As long as there's a YouTube, that hashtag is still retrievable. So now, to the retreat. So now, here's what we got. Here's the little extra bits, right, that aren't the odd sizes that come off the ends. Yeah, I think I cut that one wrong. Somebody got shorted. Okay, these have mixing balls in it, and this is the big Molotow. This is a 15 milliliter. Oh, this is the brand new one. Oh, I got one of these. We went shopping downtown to Dick Blick. Got a new one. But that's what it is. Molotow acrylic paint marker, 15 millimeter nib. So, just when I thought I was ready to go, now I have to oh, wait a minute. Maybe do I have the other one in here that's already primed? Hello, lover. I'll use the Old Faithful. I'll do that one later. So I like to use this big nib just to go around the edges of these. One stroke like that on each side. And you've got it framed, and I think it makes it pop a little bit, right? So let's just see what we got here. I think this is my favorite. I really love the colors on that. And this is a pretty quick way of putting a little black frame on all of these. Hopefully by now I'm fast forwarding. If I'm not, I'm sorry. And I love this, how this came out. With that little edge of that circle, with the dots in it, the little big circle of the PBO, the gold circle stamp, the little black hairlines, and the pictographs. Hello, lover. Little splatters of ink. I think that's like a little work of art in its own. This one's kind of cool. It's just got a little bit of the pictograph in the corner. Oh yeah, there's the one I screwed up, I think. I should have pieces like this. I do that every time. But at least I'm consistent. Yeah, that feels a little short. So if any of you buy stamps and you get my little thank you card in there, and it's a weird size, you know what happened. Ooh, I like this one too. I really like that. You hear my little knucklehead up there barking? Just shoot me now. Yeah, I did. I screwed up quite a few of these measuring. But, you know, it's not officially an ATC. It's just a little card. I like to write a little note on the back and send in with my orders. Oh yeah, these are hosed up. I need to measure like 16 times, cut once. I don't know what I do. Alright, so I'm going to do these two while I talk to sign off because I'm running out of battery again. And I just include these for, you know, it's another little piece of collage stuff that's already a collage and a collage, right? Or maybe I'll throw a couple bits in with one of my orders to get rid of these leftover things and give somebody a little piece of me when they order. So there. Let's do the bookmark. Let's just complete it, huh? Oops. And so you can pretend like you meant to do that. Was intentional. Oh, sweet Lord. Sweet mama. Hang on. Okay. Calling it done. So there is my collage turned into ATCs, sort of. Some ATCs, some not ATCs. You just never know what you're going to get here when I start doing this stuff. Trying to give you a closer look how they look individually, which is a little tricky on this little thin piece of newsprint. Right? Pretty cool, huh? So, if you're new to the channel, I hope you like this video and will subscribe and stay tuned for lots more to come. Don't forget, up on the top of the search box on YouTube, hashtag Love Summer Art, and stay tuned for the next hashtag for next month. And you're going to find a lot of new artists to follow and learn new things, all different sorts of crafts, not just painting. You know, there's needle crafts, felting, and painting, and alcohol inks, and clay, polymer clay, and all sorts of stuff. So, stay tuned. Thank you so much. If you hung in there this long, bless your hearts. And we'll have more coming at you soon. Patty Tully Parrish signing off. Bye, YouTube.